BlackBusters.
What's cracking with the family? It's happening again. We're doing it. BlackBusters, the best movie review podcast in the world.
In the world, Craig.
In the world, Craig. Yes, indeed. I'm your host, Big John, along with my co-host.
Not Coney Island, Tony Island.
Ah, yeah. Tony Island. Yes, Tony Island. And he is Tony Island today on this episode because we are doing He Got Game. He Got Game. The movie was, the setting was Coney Island in Brooklyn, Brooklyn, New York. We got straight into it. And my co-host, my guest here is still here. We decided to run it back and just talk about this next film. I didn't even want him to leave, man. My boy G Wayne.
What it is,
He's still here, man.
Building.
We ain't left yet.
We ain't left yet. We said, hey, let's run it back. Another basketball film. You know, because my boy be hooping still. You know what I mean?
Trying to stay active.
Gotta stay active. He Got Game. We doing that this week. Starring Denzel Washington. You know, it's a Spike Lee joint. Written and directed by Spike Lee. Denzel Washington, the talented Ray Allen on the court.
Yep.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Hill Harper was in it. Rosario Dawson.
La.
Yeah. Jim Brown.
Jim Brown was an asshole.
Man, he played such a good asshole.
Right.
Rick Fox was in it.
Bill Nunn
was in it. You know what I'm saying? John Turturro. I mean, it's a dope. When you watch Spike Lee films, it's always gonna be a star-studded cast.
Yeah.
He always has monsters in his films, bro.
He's got that.
Mila Jovovich.
Yeah, Mila
played
Dakota.
Dakota Burns. Yeah, man, she's in it.
That guy that's Roger Guinevere Smith, the same one from
he's a monster.
That nigga was in it.
Extremely underrated actor, bro. Roger Guinevere Smith.
Yeah.
So Big Time Willie.
Yeah, Big Time Willie. And the classically trained Negro Leonard Roberts.
Leonard
to learn how to be a black man at Oxford.
Hey, man. That's hilarious.
That's my guy.
That's the guy.
Yeah.
Man, Leonard Roberts,
He plays a great black man.
He does. Oh, don't forget, Travis Best was in here.
Travis
Best was Sip. He was the guard.
He was Sip.
He was the two guard.
He was, bro. Why I didn't catch that?
That's right.
Oh, because I was watching 2 a.m.
Right. Probably so. So here we go, man. Oh, Thomas Jefferson Burry, Sweetness. Yes, sir.
Plays a great pimp.
He plays a great pimp. Hey, check this out. I'll get to that in a minute. So this movie takes place in the 90s. It's in Brooklyn, Coney Island. Denzel Washington plays Jake Shuttlesworth, inmate. He's in prison, Attica. And he's in jail for the murder of his wife. That he killed on accident in a domestic dispute that he was having with his son. Wife got involved and he pushed her a little too hard, shoved her out the way. She hit her head on the stove and died.
Yep.
Jesus Shuttlesworth, played by Ray Allen, is Jake Shuttlesworth's son. Excuse me. And he was about maybe 10?
Yeah.
No. So at this point he's like 12, 13. No, he was gone for 6 years. He's about 11, 12.
Yeah.
And so mom died, and now Jesus is raised by their uncle Bubba and auntie, and he with a little sister. Her name is Mary. Yep, Mary Shuttlesworth, and she's about 13, 12, 13 at this point. She was a little girl back then,
about to be in middle school.
Yeah, 7th, 8th grade. Right. So now the movie starts off with Jake Shuttlesworth on the court shooting hoops. The warden basically summons him to the office, and he's like, "Hey man, you in jail for a long time, but check this out. Don't you got the son? That's the number one
recruit
in the country. Jesus Shuttlesworth is the best basketball player in the country. Yeah, and this is Jake Shuttlesworth's son that hates him. Yeah, like they have a estranged relationship. He killed his mom by accident. So Jesus has and wants nothing to do with Jake Shuttlesworth.
Yep.
Because on top of that, Jake Shuttlesworth trained Jesus from a little boy, pushed him. No, it was basically playing against him like he was a man.
Yeah.
And Jake is this big 6'1", 200-something pound dude, and
was schooling his boy.
Jesus is like 11, 12 years old.
Kid.
Yeah.
He's pushing him down, fouling him, and he's like, man, don't call no foul, be a man.
Right, get up.
And so Jesus got mad one day. He's been doing this his whole life, but this particular day, he was embarrassing them, and he was playing them too hard, and Jesus said, I quit. This 12-year-old boy, 11, 12-year-old boy threw the ball over the gate and walked home, and his father was like, go get the ball. He ignored his dad, went home.
Yep.
Now he's sitting there having dinner with his mom and his sister. His pops comes home, and the attitude is there.
Yep.
And he tells
They
Jesus,
still competing.
They still competing.
They still competing, at the dinner table.
Hey, power struggling.
Yep.
Power struggling. And Jesus says, I'm done with dinner. He gets up, walks off. He says, son, sit your ass back down. You're not done until I tell you you're done. And Jesus, 11-year-old, walks off to the kitchen.
And it's on and popping.
Crazy. I could never do that.
Absolutely not.
Shit,
he was definitely tripping.
Yeah.
And at that
Especially
point,
when he didn't get the ball.
Yeah, he threw the ball.
I said,
nah.
oh, nah, my pops.
Unfortunately, pops, as a parent, you have the authority to be overbearing.
Yeah.
You can even be wrong, but because your pops or moms, it doesn't matter. You're a kid, you still got to stay in the kid's place.
Jake pushed him past his breaking point.
Right.
Like Jake was pushing him, molded him into the player that he was. 100%.
Jesus was untouchable.
Right.
By the time he got to 17, 18,
by the time
he was a monster.
You got to recognize that it's probably, even though this is a fictitious movie, this is the equivalent of like LeBron.
Yeah.
You know, when he's coming out of high
Jesus
school,
is LeBron.
deciding whether he's going to go pro or play. This is the level of talent we're
They got
talking
Shaq
about.
in the movie saying he's ready for the big leagues.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, he's ready
Reggie
to be
Miller.
a teammate. Reggie Miller, all the great
coaches and stuff.
Yeah,
Bob Hurley,
coaches
all
like,
that.
is he gonna settle for college or is he going,
Or is he
to
going for the NBA
and make big bread?
So
that's how good he is.
But that scene, Jake pushes him over the edge, and at that point, like Jesus has reached his.
He broke.
He's broke.
He's broken.
So he doesn't want anything to do, and it's that energy.
And that little dude is a monster. That kid,
the little actor.
Oh my gosh, where is he?
Right.
Because he was giving me all of young New York kid.
Yeah.
Move out the way, man. Stop talking to me, man. He just had all the emotions he was supposed to have.
The way little like New York
Definitely
niggas be yelling when they be talking, like they don't have like regular sentences. They don't talk like, hey man, they be always be like, yo, man, you know what I'm saying? Like they yelling at each other.
Yeah, all that, man.
You know, what's interesting, and this kind of plays itself out throughout the movie, how different Jake is when he's on the sauce. Right?
Oh yeah.
And he's different when he's on the sauce.
Aggressive.
Right?
Yeah.
And that night, the night the shit went down, he was on the sauce.
Yeah.
He was training his boy. He had his boy there with the brown bag.
Yeah.
And in between drills,
he was
stepping over and swigging.
That's
right?
what it was.
And you see throughout the movie how when Jake is drinking, how his personality
a little off.
shifts.
Yeah.
Aggressive. Cursing, you know what I mean? Like, so
violent.
So he comes in off that sauce, and it's the sauce plus the disrespect that leads to the aggression.
Yeah.
Not a bad guy. But he been drinking.
He been drinking. Yeah. Like most pops.
Like most pops.
You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. What he should have did, you saw you broke your son, bro. You broke him. As a father, you got to find a way to balance. Now, at this point, are you going to grind him into the ground? He's already broken. You going to grind him into dust, or you going to apologize, be the bigger man because you are the bigger man because you're the pops, and show him this is how you do when you're mad at somebody because you were being disrespectful, but I pushed you to that.
Yeah.
It's not justified. But at that point, it's like, hey, son, I apologize, but check this out. You will not disrespect me. Go get that ball.
That's not who Jake. That's not who Jake is.
Right
at that moment,
and it showed him, and it backfired on him because and real quick, I don't think the wife, the moms, should have intervened at that point because he told him to sit down.
Yeah.
He wasn't being violent. He didn't put his hands on the son. He said, "Sit down." And the son didn't do it. At that point, as a wife,
she should have had his back, man's back. You do
but now she grabbing him and grabbing him because of course Jake shouldn't have pushed her.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? But he pushed her hard as hell too.
Get off me. It's interesting because she says a line in there. I'm tired of these wars y'all having, that she said to both, Jake and Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost kind of like this shit might have happened on a regular basis. Right? Like, that things got heated down in the garden.
Right.
And thing comes, comes upstairs.
To the house, yeah.
I think what's different is I think that's probably the first time Jesus ever quit on Jake. And I think combined with the fact that Jake was drinking.
Right.
Like this created the perfect storm for all of that. So I actually believe that like things probably never even had gotten physical. And I think maybe the mom responded in such a way because now we're at a different level. Right. Like, like I believe that like the drinking and the fact that Jesus quit on him and was repeatedly like Jake is trying to
rein him back in,
get Jesus back under his thumb.
Yeah.
And Jesus has had enough. He's done. I don't think it ever got to that point before.
Right.
Like I think this was something totally new and everybody's
they dramatized
out of character.
The ball getting thrown over the gate.
Mm-hmm.
It was a slow motion.
Yeah.
The Spike Lee triple take.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was like, this is the first time it happened to that point.
Yeah.
And the wife still shouldn't have grabbed him.
Yeah.
You gotta let him discipline the son.
Yeah.
Even at this point, Jesus is being disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
He's not listening.
Right.
And no one had got violent yet. You know what I'm saying? So our handsy yet. So of course she didn't deserve to get pushed at all.
Right.
And that's never okay. But it's crazy how that dynamic, that scene was so real because it happens all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
And it happens fast.
A mom a lot of times is playing the protector of the child
Mm-hmm.
when the father is being aggressive.
Yeah.
And shit like that happens, unfortunately. But what do we want to pick up at? So now, fast forward to it's 6 years later.
Mm-hmm.
Jake Shuttlesworth has an opportunity to get out of jail sooner than his sentence initially, his initial sentence.
Yeah,
and he also at this point has a week to talk his son into going to Big State. Big State is where the governor of the city. Governor of New York went.
Yep.
And he's a big supporter, a big booster of Big State University. And if he can get the best, and he just so happens to have the best basketball player from high school in his city, and he wants him to go to Big State. So if his father can get him to go to Big State, I'll reduce his sentence. Yeah. And that's at the beginning of the movie. That's the setup. That's the setup. So now they put Jake in this raggedy ass motel, this hotel, literally hotel.
Raggedy.
Yep.
All the pension players.
Raggedy. He was eating iron and
grilled
cheese.
Grilled cheese on the iron in a paper bag. Real nigga shit.
Yeah.
And he has 7 days to reunite with his estranged son and talk him into going to Big State and get him to sign the letter of intent to Big State.
Yeah.
And off top, Jesus ain't having it.
Not at
Jesus
all. I don't even know why you in my house, bro.
What are you doing? How you get out?
Jesus is already not having it because everybody wants to know where he's gonna go.
He's already at edge. He's on edge.
Everybody wants to know. His girl want to know.
His uncle that raised him.
His uncle want to know. Coach want to know.
Right.
The only person that didn't sweat him was Boog.
Right.
Boog and Mary were the only ones that never sweated him.
Boog was his bodyguard.
Boog was his protector.
That's another reason why you here, man. Because you can play Boog right now. My bad,
he said you can play Boog.
Yeah. Just the feisty little nigga that can hoop.
Yeah.
And I love that they showed them as kids and they grew up and they always was at each other's heads. But they always was hip to hip. They was best friends.
They was
solid.
Close.
Even though I like the moments they gave Hill Harper's character, which is Booger, with Jake.
Those were great moments
because
those were great moments.
The uncomfortable. What's up, Mr. Shuttlesworth? He said, since when you start calling your uncle Mister?
Yep.
What's up, Uncle Jake?
He was afraid of Jake.
Yeah, because last time he seen them, they was boys. And so he has a fear for his uncle. And Jake and Jesus has a resentment, and animosity towards him.
They didn't show this scene in the movie, and it probably doesn't exist. But like Jake probably scared Boog off. He probably was training both of them, right?
Yeah.
He was probably had both of them out there, and Boog was not built
for that.
for Uncle Jake.
Yeah.
Nah.
You know what I mean? Like something happened out there in the
Matter of fact,
garden.
go home, man, and leave the bread, boy.
Get out of
Or
here.
it's still in the bread.
Right? Like, so Jake loses respect, you know what I mean, for Boog because Boog couldn't handle the training.
Yeah.
Boog is, of course, always in the house, but at the same time, Jake has love for Boog. He knew even after being away from Boog all that time, he knew what to say to Boog to get Boog to soften.
Hey, man.
Look like you done grown.
For real?
Yeah.
You ain't messing with you. You ain't calling me, are you?
About 3 inches. You know what I mean? Like,
I know it.
Yeah. And at that point, Boog is like, you good with me. I'm gonna leave and let y'all talk.
Right.
Right? Like, Jake understood that.
Right.
Jake understood, Boog that well. To be able to have that.
Jake is a good dude. He's a good dad and he's a good uncle. He
wishy-washy
remind
off the
me
sauce.
of my pops, man. Man, my pops, wishy-washy off the sauce.
Wishy-washy off the sauce.
My dad was just the hood ex-con that had a good heart, and all the kids loved him, and they all feared him too. He was a very intense dude. He also was the candy guy, you know what I'm saying? So he was always had a little jar of candy for all the kids at church and all that. My dad, when he was here to discipline, he was an All-American at discipline.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was super tough,
super
intense
intense
type game.
Yep.
But he also was cool too. As he got older, as he became an older father, like Jake was a younger dad.
Yeah.
And then he had to sit down for 6 years to realize, like, I still feel like the conversations could have been better. He could have got Jesus back sooner. Had he just talked a little different, but he was still rough around the edges. He still didn't know how to say, I'm sorry. He did.
Jesus was hard.
Jesus was super hard.
Out the gate.
Yeah.
Out the gate.
Continuation from when he was a child.
Yeah.
Super but this is what makes this movie so awesome is they give it to you in very small doses, but Jesus loves his dad.
Yeah.
He
showed up.
He always,
when it's all said and done, he showed up.
Right. He might have showed up with attitude.
Yeah.
But he showed up. Like he always showed up to hear the man out. And I think when Jake has the conversation with Jesus and explains to him that his name does not come from the Bible, but rather comes from Earl Monroe. I think that was super important because it's the first time that I think Jesus sees something new or gets something new from his dad.
He didn't get from his father.
That he didn't get before.
Right.
It means that there's a place that we can exist that isn't filled with all this trauma and all of this stuff that we've been through. There are new places for us to step into.
Exactly.
And I think that conversation was the first crack of there's a world that can exist post what happened to your mom.
Right.
Post everything that we've been through. Very subtle but important scene.
Right. No, I agree. I think that Spike did a great job of expressing that. Also showing the father, the pass down of anger, pain, and passing it down to his son indirectly. Like even he was like, remember when Jesus threw the ball and he was like, he walked off. That's why you're gonna make it.
Yeah.
Right. He looking up at like God almost. He looking up. Remember he looked off into the sky. Was like, that's why he ain't gonna make it.
Yeah.
And then you hear little nuggets of different lines in the film to show that Jake was nice back in the day.
Yes.
Right. And he didn't make it. So it's so many fathers that push their kids and live vicariously through their kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Push them so
dreams,
hard. So the question is, are you pushing Jesus as hard as you pushed yourself back in the day?
I think probably not.
Probably
that's why
not.
He doing it.
And that's why
because he knew what it needs to be taken out. Because I've been there and done that. So I'm gonna give you the tools.
Had he had a little bit more grit, he had more grit than he had grace. Give him some more grace too. You got to be tough, super tough. You got to bring him back, break him down to build him back up. And he wasn't doing enough build up.
Yeah,
right.
And especially at that age. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if you're 15, 16, you know what I'm saying? Now you see how tough Jesus is at 17, 18 years old.
Yeah.
So that's the question though. So when he went away as a child, who was continuing training Jesus?
At that point,
Did it matter?
The residue.
Yeah.
It was a residue of Jake Shuttlesworth. It was
already in him, huh?
Yeah. Already in him.
Yeah.
So, and at that point, so he was treating him like a man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even the drunk homie was like, hey,
In the
come
back,
on,
right.
Jake. Chill out, bro.
Right.
Don't tell me how to raise my son, man.
Yeah.
Man, your business. Like, men was like, bro, you pushing him too hard, bro. But he ended up being Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Because Joe pushed Mike too hard.
Damn.
And look, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it makes sense that Jesus, but had he had enough time to give him more grace, then that he probably would have been an even better player.
And his coach called out how coachable Jesus was.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Said that, yep.
Which means that like a foundation of Jesus being able to get information from somebody that understands the game and apply it, which is 100% what he got from his pop.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you went left, but you brought it back to the right. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to go left, da-da-da-da-da. So then he gets a coach, and of course, like he's got built in, he's got the skills. I mean, Ray Allen is the prototype basketball player in terms of like size, the slender, nature. He's a perfect person. Can't really act worth a damn.
Man.
Can't really act
Wait.
damn.
Hold on. He can't act. Who better?
G-Wayne.
I'm not saying he can't act. I'm just saying as a basketball player, who better, him or LeBron in acting?
Ooh, so far, here's the
LeBron.
thing. I'm gonna give it to LeBron. And LeBron hasn't had to do that though.
LeBron.
Because this, for the record, Spike. Hey, you threw Allen. You threw Ray in the fire too early, bro. How many months of training did he get before he did this movie? Because this movie was too dramatic, it's too heartfelt, and too serious for a new actor of his caliber, especially someone that's not a natural.
Right.
Someone who I think that you could put him in that role. A basketball player now, it's hard to say in too many personalities.
Right.
That acting wise, you know what I'm saying? I think,
who the best basketball
for example,
actor?
Shaq. Shaq was a natural. And Shaq wasn't amazing.
Yeah, Shaq was a
but
natural.
Shaq was believable. Like Ray, a lot of his lines were so flat.
He did the best he could.
Yeah.
He did the best he could.
Tone,
right.
Yeah.
And that's what it was, the one tone.
I don't ever want to hear you say it again. Ever. You hear me?
Just
I'm
like
sorry.
right there. Right there at the one level. Like he did not have
the highs and lows, the roller coaster.
He didn't have the variance needed.
Right.
And everybody else is so good at acting around him.
Right.
That it really kind of
La Bonilla did her thing.
Like everybody's just really good.
Right.
Like even like the Guido agent. You know what I mean? Like
right,
that's a
right,
Rolex. 35, that's a Corvette on your wrist.
Right.
Right.
Listen, what color is money? What color is money, Jesus?
This is green.
It's
This is
green.
white.
It's green.
Money's green.
Money's green.
Yeah.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom.
What's clear is that Rick Fox is an amazing actor in this.
I was just going to say that. I was just going to say, what about Rick Fox?
I forgot.
Rick Fox been in major movies.
I forgot Rick was doing it. I forgot Rick was in that.
Yes.
I seen Meet the Browns and all that.
Right.
He did his thing in that.
Yep.
But Rick
was spot on.
I said, yeah.
Spot on.
And I've done recruiting trips and I've been on them. And Rick was a great host.
Recruiter?
Great host.
Great host.
Great host.
For the women?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, bro.
But Rick was doing all the things that like Ray Allen was unable to do. That Jesus was unable to do. Even like when they're in the arena and John Turturro's doing the whole speech, even like Rick's asides when he's, smirking and rolling his eyes, and I understand that this is a bit much.
Yeah.
All that shit seems believable.
But Ray was just
You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
he just didn't have the
right.
It was a tall task. He does it well enough for this movie to still be good. This movie does not suffer. This movie does not suffer.
No, it doesn't.
Because Ray Allen is Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Everybody outacted Ray.
Yes.
Even his little sister.
Yes.
Up in his, yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of course, Hill Harper's a monster.
Yeah.
So everyone like you say, everyone around him is dope. So he blends in with the dopeness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I wonder, out of all the superstar basketball players during the time, why Ray Allen?
That's a good question.
Because I always thought that even back then, I was like, Ray Allen?
Right.
I remember.
Don't get it twisted. I was happy to see it.
Mm-hmm.
But then even now, as a director and a writer now, I'm like, oh man, he was even worse than I thought.
I remember seeing a documentary. Originally, it was supposed to be Stefan.
Okay.
That like the movie was written for Stefan Marbury. Right? This is what kind of like Spike said.
Spike, yeah.
But it didn't really work out. The timing didn't work with like Stefan. I saw that like he was thinking about Kobe, right? And Kobe didn't want to do it. right?
Really?
Kobe was too focused back then.
was
Kobe
too
was like,
focused.
nah.
No,
Yeah.
ain't no Hollywood shit for me right now.
Yeah.
Huh? All basketball.
So it ultimately ended up kind of like going to Ray Allen. But I think a bunch of different folks. I think Dwayne Martin.
I'm thinking, why not Allen Iverson?
Yeah, I don't think. I think that like Ray. I think Ray Allen was the perfect one to come in because he was not bigger than the movie. And I think
he wasn't bigger than anybody we mentioned too.
I think even though Ray Allen was already an NBA player, I think Marbury and Iverson and even Kobe were bigger than the movie.
Yeah.
And would they have humbled themselves to the point to be able to take direction
Yeah.
and play the part.
Right.
Ray was perfect.
I promise you, that's what I thought. I said, because he's not too big,
He's
big enough. Because we know who Ray Allen was,
Right?
With the Bucks,
100%.
We knew who he was. We knew he was nice.
Yep.
We definitely can see him being the best. Everybody in the league is the best in their city.
Yeah,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it made sense for him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. I loved it. I was like, damn, but he can't act, but
can't really act.
But
can't really
like
act.
you said, Rosario Dawson murdered her character. Denzel is Denzel. You know what I'm saying? Hill Harper, Uncle Bubba.
Prostitute.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Prostitute.
Listen. She's the only prostitute I've ever wanted to fuck in a movie.
She was looking good with that wig on, low key.
It was something.
It was the acting.
About her.
Yeah, it was something about her. I was like, dang, little bony ass bitch.
Yeah.
So he wasn't on that at first.
Yeah.
He wasn't on it. He was like, bro, I got to give me a taste of this.
Yeah. She has mad sex appeal.
Right.
And what she kept saying, you think you slick.
You think
You think you slick? I was like,
He said,
man.
no, I don't think I'm nothing like that.
Yeah.
You come over here after I get my ass whipped, huh?
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
Damn, perfect timing.
You think you
Let me
slick,
get
huh?
some beat up box?
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, I was watching like, boy, oh boy, oh boy. Right? Like,
Yeah.
and again, and that's how most men are, right? Like, most men, it's just a proximity play.
Mhm.
But like she was a hot stank hoe. Right? Like,
right.
She was
And man, then what happened? Did he shoot off too early? When he finally was over?
He got up out of there. He was treating like penitentiary butt or something.
Yeah, he turned it around
on some American
felt
meat.
that warm cheeks.
It was too
and slid up and shot off early. Shot the Uzi off. Yeah. He got embarrassed and pulled up off of her, and she was like, "It's okay." He was like, "I'm sorry."
She said, "I'll turn the meter off."
Oh
man, he said, "We got all night."
Yeah, I'll stay all night.
Yeah, all night.
I'll turn the meter off.
Cool. We gonna shoot up again twice, but
paid all that bread.
But it was good again, and this is like this is one of my favorite roles and performances by Denzel.
I loved it.
It's one of my favorites because you don't rarely see Denzel play an underdog.
Right.
As Malcolm X, he's Malcolm X.
Yeah, strong.
Right?
Astute.
He's Alonzo. You know what I mean? My nigga. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he always, but on this one, he's the underdog.
Unsure of himself.
Not a lot of power or influence. Right?
Right.
And so he does a masterful job of trying to accomplish his goal, but also trying to reconnect with his daughter and reconnect with his son. And then especially as a parent, when he on that sauce and he's running out of time.
Yeah.
And then the desperation he has at the end of the movie.
The aggressiveness.
Yeah.
Yep.
The aggressiveness comes.
Ain't got no time, man. Hey, where you at?
And this is what it was. His thing. He had 7 days, right? Sunday night.
Yeah.
He was like, damn, man, it's Friday.
Yep.
They about to lock me back up. And he ain't signed no papers. And I ain't got my pipe wet.
Yeah.
I need to go ahead and smash this Dakota Burns prostitute chick.
Yep.
So he was like looking for his son. Maybe he was asking Booger where he was at.
Yeah.
Focus. He about to give him a head. He had him in the headlock.
Yeah.
You hurt me, Uncle you hurt me.
Eating all my food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You think I forgot?
Then he went and said, nah, let me go get this bread and
Yeah.
go smash this chick real quick before they lock me back up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was the pressure of him trying to get him to sign.
He did go to that restaurant with the cops, right?
Because he wasn't going to bone her at first. They was like, nah, they about to lock me back up. Let me
I
go
gotta
get
get
some
this poppin'.
Yep.
Let me
I
go
gotta
get
get this
yams,
poppin'.
man.
It was funny. I love his apology when he offered Bugs some drink. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to hit this. You want to hit this. You know what I mean?
He plays a very good loser.
Yeah.
That's so, and people always say that Denzel he only plays the same character, and he does play a lot of the same characters, and it's really because he's so commanding.
Yeah.
His energy, his personality, the way he talks. That when people write and they cast him in it, he becomes the character. I get it, but the character really becomes him.
Mm-hmm.
And because I think that's a testament to how great of an actor he is.
Yeah.
And when he does get the chance to stray away from like the typical strong, confident man that he plays in most of his characters.
Control of the situation.
Yeah, he played this guy hair toe up all the time.
That's why Jake is so different.
Yeah,
that's why Jake
was
is so
a
different.
great character for him.
Yeah,
him trying to be tough, him battling with his own ego, and he still wasn't. Even the way he apologized, I can't bring your mother back. All right. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to be a father again. You ain't my father. He should have been like, son, I'm sorry. What did I have to do? Like, but he couldn't even do that just yet. In his own way, he was like, I'll play you. Most fathers who fuck up try to come back in their kids' lives as if nothing ever happened. Nothing that showed in him too. Like, of course, he apologized, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't as heartfelt as it should have been, in my opinion. But if anything, he's trying to get back to how he was. Let's one-on-one. Let's go. Let's play.
Yeah.
Let's see what you got.
Where we left off.
And Jesus like, nigga, I ain't about to play you, bro.
Yeah. You ain't no
You
competition.
Scared? You ain't no competition. I ain't no competition.
Right.
No, bro. For one, I'm not playing you because it's not like old times, bro.
Right.
I don't F with you, bro. I'm not rocking with you at all.
Right.
And so one of the lines that Ray Allen had that was a real line that I felt is when he said, son, man, you look. When he first saw him on the court, he was like, your mother would be so. And he walked off. He was like,
Yep.
And he said, that's the last thing you said to me to start a conversation off. That seemed real.
Yep.
He was like, that's the last thing you should say to
legit.
me to start the conversation off with
That's
me,
legit.
bro. No, I don't want to hear none of that.
Yeah.
Right.
I said, okay, that was I felt that was a real moment. That looked real. It looked authentic. It didn't look staged. It didn't look fake. Go ahead, Ray. Keep that same energy throughout the whole movie, though. I wanted him to keep that same energy.
It's hard.
You know what I'm saying? It's hard. On top of that,
and the movie was 2 hours long.
Think about it like this: he's across from Denzel, bro. Look at interviews of people that work with Denzel for the first time. They be intimidated.
True that.
They're like, bro, like to keep up with him. That's tough.
Everybody that Ray Allen has a scene with is a significantly stronger actor than him.
Right.
In every scene.
Right.
His work with Rosario, right? Like,
Yes.
she's stronger.
Yeah.
Even what's homie, the hustler, the street
The
hustler.
ball head dude.
You talking about big
Light-skinned homie.
Big time Tony or something like that?
Big time.
Big time Willie.
Big time Willie.
He's
Strong.
a monster. But
Strong. Hill Harper, strong, right?
Yes.
So it's just, kind of like by comparison. It was interesting because I was trying to figure out, like, if the language of basketball was going to be where they kind of like talked. And I was thinking about like all of the different attempts that Jake was having to connect with Jesus, the significance of the game at the end. Like, did that game have the conversation that the two of them were not able to have?
Of course.
Right? Like, and I was looking for significance in the score, how Jake ran up the points first and this and that. But little things, like I learned that from you. I did teach you that, right?
Everything you got, you learn from me. Everything you got.
Yeah. I think like ultimately that game represents forgiveness. I think that Jesus forgives Jake at the end of that game, right? That like Jesus sees that Jake was who he was and did the best he could. I think like because during the game, Jake does the best that he could with what he had.
Yeah.
And I think maybe Jesus sees that in his father. He did the best he could with what he had. And then that makes it easier for him to forgive. Because in Jake's face, when he's putting the cuffs on, it's just a father looking at his son.
Damn.
And
that's a moment. Spike is a monster, bro.
Bro. I felt that moment,
all
though.
those moments, bro. Yeah.
I felt bad. Like, nigga, sign the contract.
Yeah. But even in Jake's eyes, there was no, please help me, son. It was no, like at that point, I think Jake lost and walked away. And he said, take care of your sister. He said, do what's right for you. Take care of yourself and take care of your sister.
Right.
And those are the last words that he says before he goes.
Don't worry about me.
Yeah, don't worry about me. I came up here to try to do a thing, but ultimately, son, it's on you. Even
with the walk down the pier, he was like, hey, man, so I want you to go to Big State.
Yeah.
He just ripped the band off.
Straight up. Yep.
And he was like, this is what this is all about. He was like, yeah, part of it.
Just like the rest of them.
Yeah. I need you to do this for me. If you can find it in your heart they can reduce my sentence if you go to big state.
Yep.
Is that one of your your finalists? He's like, it's in my top 10. Cool. I 1 out of 10. I'll take that.
Yeah.
And he's not pleased. He's begging.
Right.
But he's not on his hands and knees like a buster.
Yeah.
Right.
He's like, son, this is what I need from you. If you can find it in your heart to do it, that would definitely
But he
help
still
me out.
is like, do what's best for you.
Right.
The entire
Yeah.
If this school don't fit you, you know,
do what's best for you.
Right.
This is what I want. It'd be nice if you could, but ultimately do what's best for you.
Right. And on that court, when they fought, I mean, they played, and he finally rushed his pops and knocked him down on his back and won the game. That was revenge.
Yep.
That was, okay, this is now the tables have turned. I know that's the parallel that Spike had. I'm sure it is. And if anything, he gave him mercy.
Yes.
He gave him mercy the way his father didn't give him. And, you know what I'm saying? So now he knocked him down. He knocked Jesus down several times in that last game they played, and didn't help him back up, and he kept talking mess, and then he never showed him mercy.
Yeah.
And so I think that was a moment right there.
Now we're even.
Now we're even.
And we can move forward with even.
Yeah.
Right?
So him not signing, not taking the paper from him and letting it hit the ground, you still don't win.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We even, but you know what I'm saying? I still won this.
Yes.
Me signing that paper at that point in time is him saying, like, okay, well, you won. Now you shouldn't win.
He was never going to sign that paper. He was never going to sign that paper and go to big state in front of and give it to Jake.
Right.
He was never going to give Jake that victory.
No.
That win.
Right.
But ultimately made the decision to do it.
True.
Surprise.
I'm surprised he can go to UTech. Oh, Tech University.
Right.
Tech, you was popping.
Right. They put all the stops.
Tech, you was popping.
Yeah.
All of the snow bunnies.
They was kissing everybody in their mouth.
Yeah.
I said, what the? You riding this back. Hold on.
95.
What kind of mono do y'all have on this campus?
Yeah,
right. Because
everybody
was getting tongue kissed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the mid-90s right there, boy.
Man, that shit was popping. Then he walked into the room.
Yeah.
It's like, we hope you come here. That's enough, but that's what I think which was great about this movie is that like He Got Game was not a love letter from Spike to basketball.
Nah.
It's about the ugly underbelly of this shit.
He even saw hence why he made like the pseudo love story between this ex-con that's on this convict that's on leave basically and this whore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, okay, I'm gonna make this a little thing because why was that in the movie? For a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like he saw her for who she was. He because he fell from grace. He was a father, a loving husband, and he ruined his life with his own temper. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He put himself in that position. No one else did. And so now he's paying for it every single day. Now this woman, and he kept asking her, why are you doing this? Like, she's like, I got a few reasons, I was abused as a kid and low self-esteem. She broke it down. Nigga, I deserve. Yeah. When sweetness be whooping my ass, I be deserving it. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. This is the life I chose or the life I'm in. And he was like, so for a convict, these two people are basically the scum of the earth. You know what I'm saying? See each other for who they are outside of what they do. You know what I'm saying? I'm a convict. Yeah. That's what you do. You're a jailbird. I'm a prostitute, but he saw her for something else. Right.
It's weird because it highlights like Jake's sensitivity. Jake's because he treats Dakota with so much class, despite the fact of where they are. He's soft, he's caring, he's sensitive, he's empathetic. Probably all the skills that he needed to have
with his son,
with his son's mom,
with the wife too,
with the mama. That's why she's even with him. So you see this side of him that's different, and also an embracing of I'm free. This is something that I did not think I'd get the opportunity to do, but I'm doing. Versus all of the other women that are in Jesus's life, right? From the skanky co-eds to Lala,
all the girls at school on his back.
At least they shit is honest. Everybody else is shady and they're lying and they're manipulative.
Conniving, yeah.
You know what I mean? But Jake and Dakota are at least honest, right? Like, and it's the only kind of honest relationship that happens like damn near in the whole film,
right?
Like, you know, the honesty of it all, which is cool,
right?
Which is cool.
What about the how much money you think he was taking? Because all of a sudden he didn't want to take that money from the coach.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
He was like, I thought that was, you know,
I thought that was a
loan.
loan. Yeah. Like you've been taking the money.
You've been taking it.
Yeah, you've been taking
it. Hence the but he was like, I can't take that no more. Now, is that a hole in the story all of a sudden? Or did he decide, okay, it's getting close to I have 2 months left of high school.
Yeah. I mean,
Let me slow down and stop taking money.
I think what it was is that he looked at the money that whatever he was getting to be able to pay for clothes and that rent as like the same as like I was supposed to get a D in calculus and I got a C.
Right.
Right? Like these are just things to help me while I'm here.
Not 10 bands.
Right. You know, not 10 bands, just things to help me get along.
This is what good basketball players get.
Yeah, but now the stakes are higher. And he's recognizing that all this shit comes with a cost. Right? All of this shit comes with
the watch, the Rolex, the $37,000 Rolex.
Yeah.
He's it'll come with strings attached on it. No strings, no rubber bands, no nothing. It was okay. Yeah, right.
Because when Big Time, what's his name? Big Time?
Big Time Willie.
When Big Time Willie was dropping that game on him in the car, that's some of my favorite scenes in the movie. About like, here's what's waiting on you. Right. If it ain't the drugs that's gonna get you, it's the pussy that's gonna get you.
He was keeping it 100.
You know what I mean? Or the drink that's gonna get you. Like, you know, it's gonna get you.
One way or the other.
One way or the other. How you gonna stay away from that? Right? Like, and it's solid because I mean we've seen a lot of ball players get chewed up.
Not most, but a lot. Like you said, a lot. Yeah.
Matter of fact, anybody that stands out, which is kind of like what he was saying, like anybody from here that you know, a nigga from here, you know, he's doing, you know,
make it.
Gonna make it. Here's what's waiting on you on the other side of that.
Right.
Like solid shit.
Man, he had all the people, everybody in his corner, not turn against him, but like
reveal themselves.
Uncle, just shut the fuck up, bro. Chill. He love you. He's not trying to cut you out of nothing.
Right.
Just chill.
Yeah.
Relax.
What makes you relax?
What makes you think
that he wasn't gonna take care of you?
Yeah.
He been taking care of you this whole time.
Yeah. You took us in. Wow. He was a good dude.
Yeah.
So it was almost like Uncle Bubba didn't see the value or didn't see the goodness in Jesus because he didn't think that he would take care of him at the end.
I mean, I think everybody kind of felt like Jesus was their meal ticket.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like, so what's interesting is that like Lala's argument makes a whole lot of sense.
It does. It hurt the fist, it does.
Like at first I just remember her being like a shady, disloyal, you know, using as kind of like girlfriend, which she is.
Right.
But
she is.
But her reasons for it on this last rewatch makes sense. You really expect me to think that this was going to last? Like, you really expect me to think that you was going to leave and stay with me?
Right. It's going to be
your Puerto Rican girlfriend from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they put money in my pocket for some shit I ain't got no control over.
That was very well put.
Lala
made sense.
But was she sexing the brother?
Well, she was.
Yeah, the family friend that was her brother. And that's what I thought, okay, now you shady.
That's cold-blooded, bro.
But then again, she was like, well, I'm an opportunist like you are. He said, she said, you got it set. You about to be a millionaire.
She knows
you about to have 1,000 of these.
She know Jesus was down there fucking. She knows it.
He wasn't trying to at first.
Yeah.
He was playing a good boyfriend, right?
But he knows what she knows what he was doing on them recruiting trips.
Right.
And she knows how easy he was to manipulate. Right? Like, you know.
Was he though?
I mean, the thing.
From her, yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think I think Jesus has a certain, like, he's naive to a certain extent.
Right.
He's standoffish and he's closed off or whatever, but he was manipulated down at Tech U. From the moment he was down there, Jesus did not realize that the con was on, that the game was on, that it was no coincidence that while he was eating lunch with Rick Fox, that table of co-eds just happened to be there.
Over, hey.
You know what I mean? Like,
Jesus.
He wasn't picking up that, like, while they was walking through the quad,
Right.
that those two, girls that just happened to walk up,
All a setup, Mike.
like all set up.
Yeah.
He wasn't up on game, right?
So he didn't have game at that time.
I don't
He didn't
think
have.
he had no game.
He had basketball game.
He got some ass, but he had no game. But
yeah, indeed.
But she called it for what it was. Like you about to be gone, and you ain't never coming back here, and you not taking me with you.
You're not LeBron, nigga.
Yeah, you're not taking me with you. I'm getting mine. While I can.
It's either this or get pregnant right now.
Boom.
Because she
bag.
She got an abortion.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
She like, I had my meal ticket last time, and I got rid of it for you.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
This is my second chance.
This is my second chance.
That's crazy.
That's real.
To get paid. I
mean, the question is, would Jesus have taken her and can't stay with her?
I don't
think so. I don't think it would have worked out because he said he's too influenced with all the other
But he
women.
he was already a good nigga. His character never showed that he was shady. His character
never showed he didn't turn down no ass either.
I mean, but I think it goes to big time speech, right? Which
Only matter of time. Good niggas
here's
fucked up shit.
Here's what's waiting on you. This is the game.
Yeah.
This is the game that's waiting on you, right? So I think ultimately it was not going to work out because, people with more game than Lala, more money than Lala was waiting on Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Yeah.
Was waiting on him. And what's really fucked up is, and there's nobody protecting Jesus.
Nobody.
Boog is doing the best that he can.
Yeah, he is.
Right? He's doing the best that he can. But Boog, wherever Shuttlesworth goes, Boog ain't going with him.
Right.
Right?
Boog gonna get a scholarly though, because Boog was nice too.
But
he not going.
He's not going where. He's not going.
I think he was a year. He was a junior, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I think he still had another year left.
Yeah.
I think. I know he didn't. He said you about to graduate and you can't read.
The uncle,
right? He couldn't read on
Uncle
that
was supposed
bitch.
to be the father figure.
Uncle's not taking care of him.
Nah, and
he's
Auntie
not looking out for him.
The authority to.
Auntie don't have.
Take your big ass in the house, in the room, and shit.
She, so there's nobody.
Yeah.
Coach don't have his best interest.
I thought he did too. Damn, Coach.
Until he came with the stacks.
Right, Coach don't have his best. Nobody has Jesus's best interest in heart, and he's about to get thrown to the wolves.
Right.
Damn, no father figure. Damn.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. I do think that like he'll have a relationship with Jake. I mean, because he never read any of Jake's letters before.
Right.
But he reads the letter that Jake sends like at the end of the movie, right? Yeah. So Jake will be able to say something to him, but then Jake got fucking double crossed. Which
oh, that's what happened at the end, right? Right?
But yeah, but this is what I would say. Son, they reneged on the deal.
That's cold blooded.
I'd be like, all right, so son, if I was Jesus, I'm like, nigga, I'm
don't go to that. Yeah, go somewhere else.
I'll leave unless you let my dad out. Give my dad 5 years left.
Yep.
As opposed to 25.
I'm not shooting.
No, he had 15. He had 15.
So he had 9 left?
No, I think he had 15 more. Cause he was like,
he got 21 years?
Yeah, nigga, manslaughter, a murder.
Damn. Accident.
But he's an accident, but it was domestic, and he pushed her, and how she fell, and she like, you know what I'm saying? So he had this 6 already. I think it's
damn, 15 more.
So yeah, 20. You know what I'm saying? So
that was fucked up. Like that was the one part of the movie that like was kind of like foul. Like how they
double crossing him?
How they double crossed him?
Yeah,
right. Like that was and put his face on the newspaper.
Like he a manscaped,
you know. He had escaped Maximum. Like,
and I shout out to my nigga Booger, man. He knew that was some bullshit.
Yeah,
he
walked straight out.
Back.
Yeah.
So
you know how he escape a maximum security prison, right? Like
walking out the front door.
Yeah. Like that part was shady.
Let's talk about Jim Brown being such an asshole.
Jim Brown was a fucking asshole.
Dick.
He was
Spivey.
He was an ass the whole fucking time.
You don't give a fuck about you. And he was acting.
Yeah.
He did a good job.
Yeah. Believable.
Jim did a good job.
Believable.
Yeah.
You want a hot dog?
Yeah. Hell yeah. You want a hot dog?
Nah, just give me that drink.
I want some of that nasty pussy.
I'm gonna need some money.
Yeah.
For what?
He was
nigga, when he was like, man, the Italian dude was like, I don't know, man. No, I was thinking Spivey said you ain't messing with you ain't messing around with them little boys.
With them little boys,
that had me rolling, man.
Right.
Damn.
Yeah, but Spivey gave him the 100. Like he gave him the dough.
Spot, yeah.
I mean, I just think like he just was a legit ass parole officer.
Right.
I don't really give a shit about you. I don't give really a shit about this. Do what you do so we can get home.
Right.
The whole
Everybody
time
just wanna go
Spivey was
Y'all
like,
gotta
yo,
get done.
Yeah, I want to get this shit over with.
let's get out of here. Let's get done.
Right.
But he had no grace for
Nigga,
Jake
at all. No sympathy,
No
no
grace,
empathy, no nothing.
Nothing for him at all.
So Jake getting out of the jail for that week and going to his wife's grave. That was a moment for me, man. Because you saw he did shove her hard, but that was an accident. And regardless of nigga, you should pay for that. But still, the regret, nigga. That nigga bear hugged the hell out of her tombstone.
He was kissing.
He was making out with the tombstone.
Right. Yep.
Like
and squeezed it and
to show that he
that.
rubbed her back.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, man, like he really loved that woman. And that shows when you get under the influence of that liquor and with a little bit of anger and rage.
Get off that sauce.
Yeah, all kind of dumb. You can ruin your whole life.
Right. The blink of an eye, man.
In a dinner. At dinner.
Family dinner.
Yeah.
A family dinner. Yeah. So it was a dope ass film, bro.
What do you think about his ball skills?
Okay, here we go.
Uh-oh.
Could we talked about Wesley Snipes and Denzel in the last one. And I said, oh, he can hoop.
Yeah.
But he's basketball coach hoop. He's PE coach hoop. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, how old was Denzel during that movie?
The movie was in
95?
like 96.
96?
Let's see here. We'll see when it came out. 98. He Got Game comes out in 98.
Yep, 1998.
He's got to be mid-40s.
He was 40 back then?
Yeah, he's 60-something now.
Yeah, he's got to be like...
He's born 1954.
1954.
So 2024 will be 70. He'll be 70.
Yeah.
Next year.
Yeah. And he looks it now. He looks it now.
Yeah.
He that old now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Denzel's. You see in Denzel's face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but so he had to be
he
mid-40s?
Yeah, mid-40s.
Mid-40s?
And
early mid-40s?
I think his ball skills were good. I think Denzel Washington, I told you he wanted to be an NFL player. He wanted to be in the league. So I think he played basketball his whole life. He might play high school basketball. And most kids, I might be the only one out of all my homers I grew up with that's not nice in basketball in some way. Like I didn't play basketball growing up. I was a naturally gifted athlete as a kid. I was fast. I was big. I was strong. So when I tried out for basketball and I wasn't good off top, I was like, nah, I'm cool. Yeah, I'm not. I gotta. These kids is killing me. I'm faster than them. I can jump higher than them. I'm stronger than them, but I can't dribble like them. My handle ain't nice.
Shooting and
so
shit.
at 10 years old, my confidence is low. So I never learned how to really play basketball good. But most black kids know how. Yeah. Even if you become an actor later on in life. So he looks like a kid, a man that he knows the fundamentals. He's not, he looked like he could be, like if he was 30 years old playing in a movie where he was like in the 1970s and he was playing like a basketball player, I can see him doing
that.
it.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't see him playing Magic Johnson necessarily.
I played him. He can't play.
Who? Magic Johnson?
The nigga that played Magic Johnson.
Oh,
he be at the fitness, bro. I was cracking up.
Damn.
On the new HBO show?
Yeah.
Denzel Washington looks more natural with the ball than Wesley Snipes and He Got Game.
You think so?
I don't know.
Think about how Denzel was just going between his legs. You know what I mean? When they're waiting to play.
Right.
Like he just had a swagger that felt real and authentic.
But so did West.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That was two different type of basketball players though. They two different styles.
Yeah.
That's two different styles.
I feel like the way Denzel played the game was like Paul Pierce. And I think the way Wesley played the game was more like a Iverson / Tim Hardaway.
Flashy, like entertaining. Paul Pierce just get a bucket.
Ray for Austin, skip to my Lou. Like he was,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Crazy scenario. You're being held hostage, right? You got to choose one player out of Sidney Dean, Jake Shuttlesworth, Dwayne Martin from Above the Rim, or Leon from Above the Rim.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
Who are you putting the ball? Whose hands are you putting the ball in to save your life?
When it comes to basketball, I'm going to give it to Dwayne Martin.
You give it to Dwayne Martin?
I think Dwayne Martin is the best
That's hands down.
basketball player
to
in the
save
game.
your life.
Yeah, he really
Yeah.
got it out of them.
Yeah.
He really got it.
I'm going with Leon.
You going with Leon?
I'm going with Leon.
I think Leon and Denzel the same person in hooping.
If it's one shot to save my life, if it's one shot, let's say from the top of the key. Let me modify the scenario. From the top of the key, you can to save your life, and you can choose from what you can choose from Wesley Snipes, you can choose from Sidney Dean, Billy Hoyle.
Billy Hoyle was
you already
clutch.
know I'm going.
Leon, you messed up.
You didn't got to finish the lineup.
Jake Shuttlesworth.
I'm Billy. I'm going with the white boy.
You going Billy?
Because he's a shooter.
Yeah.
Right. Natural shooter.
You never saw him miss.
Top of the key.
You never saw him miss in the movie. He didn't miss not one jump shot in the movie.
I think Leon would lock Billy Hoyle up.
Ooh. But you said the last shot.
You didn't say that. Yeah, you said
the last shot.
Even I think
of the key.
Like right now, I think like the best fictitious basketball player in the movies is Leon from Above the Rim. And I'm dying on that hill.
He's dying on it.
Gave him 40.
What y'all think,
gave
family?
him 40 in corduroys.
He gave him 40, in corduroys. What y'all think, man? Who? Now Wesley Snipes as Sidney Dean. Or Denzel Washington as Jake Shuttlesworth, and this is for the last shot taken to save your life.
Yeah.
Who are you going with?
Or one-on-one. Like one-on-one.
Now you changed it up then.
Yeah, I know I'm changing it up. I'm trying to find the best what-if scenario. One-on-one,
because
who do you like better?
Jake's post-game was nice.
Yeah. Sidney versus Jake, one-on-one.
I think I'm gonna go with Denzel, because Denzel probably gonna mess with Sidney's head, and Sidney be off the charts when you get in his head.
Boom.
Okay, so we go with
we might
Denzel.
have to go with Jake, not
Okay.
Denzel.
Jake.
Yeah, Jake versus Leon.
Oh,
see, Leon, you can't shake Leon. Only way you can shake Leon is if you bring him Nutso.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
So Leon wins.
That's tough.
His range, bro.
Right.
If he's wearing them corduroys, he's winning.
Yeah.
You can't beat Leon in corduroys.
He did Leon in corduroys and a long sleeve. And the jersey on top.
And the jersey on top.
I don't think there's anybody.
And he had on some case twists. He didn't even have no basketball shoes on.
Straight out the taxi. Where's he coming from?
Billy Hoyle ain't got nothing. Like Leon, just if we just go what we saw on screen. If we just go by what we saw on screen, there's never been a nigga as nice as Leon and Above the Rim.
Ooh.
The nigga from Wanabe can't do it.
I'm looking at the air up there right now. You know what I'm
right.
But what about your boy Dwayne Martin?
Dwayne Martin ain't got nothing for Leon.
What?
In corduroys.
Okay, in the corduroys.
So the corduroys is it. That's the deal breaker. The corduroys.
Yeah. Got nothing for him. I think if we look at all of the basketball movies we've seen, who would you say is nicer? Like Leon did that in corduroys and probably house shoes. He had a long sleeve shirt.
He did do that, man.
With a jersey on.
He did.
Over the top.
Yeah.
He did.
Due to the circumstances,
came out hitting.
He never, out of all the guys we mentioned, he wasn't there to play basketball.
Yeah.
And he played basketball and he succeeded.
Yeah.
So Leon might be.
And he the only one who played with a ghost. With a ghost ball. Like
so.
And
he might have the nod.
That's some Kobe Bryant shit. That's Kobe Bryant was doing that.
Super Kobe.
You got a ball, but you just still working emotion.
He was nicer in high school than Jake was. Right?
I give you that, yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. And he was nicer than old boy in Above the Rim in high school.
He was nice. He was nicer than both of them.
Because he had things to teach Dwayne.
Yeah. We know 100% he was nicer than Sidney Dean in high school.
Yeah.
And nicer than Billy Hoyle in high school. Right? Just if we filling in the gaps of what we don't know.
Yeah.
But he was the nicest then. He was the nicest then, and he was still wet.
Cause Bernie Mac was like, bro, he was like,
They won a chip.
They won a chip.
They won a chip. They went upstate and won a chip.
Leon,
Yep.
Leon might have been
I think
the guy.
he's the best.
Leon might be the guy.
Leon coach was still coaching.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a real coach. He was
Mhm.
coaching generations of stars.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So okay. I'll take it. Yeah, man. That's funny.
Any last thoughts before we get into some awards?
Man, real quick. Kylie, his name was Kyle. That's what it was. Kyle Watson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was bothering me that I didn't know Dwayne Martin's name back then. Kyle Watson. Yep. And Shep, Leon. Leon
Shep.
Shepherd.
Shep's the coldest.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Can't name nobody colder to me.
And so because he had the biggest obstacles, like he came out the taxi with the jacket on, took off the jacket with the Elises. He had on the Elises probably. He didn't even have on those sports shoes.
Right.
And got a cracking. And he gave him 40.
Gave him 40 corduroys.
He gave him 40 in corduroys, bro. Yeah.
From the wing.
It's Shep.
He's probably the number one.
It's Shep.
Yeah, it's Shep.
I mean, like, I'd be curious as to what other people had to say.
Right. Who you think?
Yeah.
Who's the best basketball character
Because
in these basketball films?
Sydney's gonna trick it off.
Oh,
Spinning on a jump shot. You know, like Sydney's gonna flash his way to mess some stuff up.
Yeah.
Billy Hoyle's gonna get in his head, right? Jake's old. You see how Jake got tired just off the 1-on-1.
Yep.
Shep, I wasn't sure Shep started sweating. He was playing in pants and didn't even break a sweat. It's my man Leon.
And got punched and elbowed.
Yep, it was good to go.
Took a beating.
All right, let's get into some awards. MVP for He Got Game.
He got game. MVP. MVP for He Got Game.
I'm gonna say Denzel.
You say Denzel, huh?
Yeah, he took it the hardest, man. He still came out losing.
He had the most to lose.
Yeah. He achieves his goal. Did he?
Got played at the
Did he
end.
achieve his goal?
He didn't achieve his goal, and I think he could have went harder. I'm okay with you saying Denzel or Jake Shuttlesworth, but I'm gonna give it to Booger, bro.
I think Booger
was the only one that didn't have an agenda, bro.
Oh, well,
he's the only one that didn't have an agenda when it came to his cousin.
Yep.
And he never flailed.
for nothing.
Even the whole team, Travis Best and the rest of the dudes turned on him.
Yep.
Facts. At the last minute, like Big Time Willie was like, man, everybody gonna be jealous. They're gonna be coming at you crazy. All the people that loved you is gonna turn on you. Everybody turned, even Lala, but Booger didn't turn, bro.
Yeah.
Facts. Forgot about that.
That's a really good point.
I'm gonna
have to take that back then and go with.
Amen.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, man.
Forgot
Shout
about
out
that.
to Hill Harper, man.
I mean, I think that's good. I got no problem with that vote.
Okay.
I feel like Denzel doesn't win, but ultimately he gets his son back in the end, right? So
okay, I like that.
That's a big W on the board.
Okay, I
right?
like that
Like,
because
that's a
you're
big
still in
W.
prison, but you have your son back.
But your son is reading your letters.
Right.
Your son is reading your letters. So at the end of the movie, even though Jake is back in prison, there's a brighter day for him.
And he's not in jail forever.
Right.
He's getting out. It's just gonna be a long time.
Yep.
And I think he gets out sooner than that.
On good behavior.
Yeah. I mean, because you can tell even the warden was like, I know it's fucked up. Like the warden wouldn't look at him right in the eye. They're gonna work something out.
They're gonna work something out.
They're gonna, and I think that, like, even after the first season, I think that even Jesus might be like telling the head coach, I'll declare pro.
Yeah.
I don't need to stay here another year.
Get my dad out that cage.
You
man.
want me to stay for another year? Do something for my dad.
Facts.
Yeah.
Boom.
Who's
the LVP?
Oh. Sweetness.
Sweetness,
man. Piece of
Nigga
shit.
came and killed his
He
part.
said, hey, man, you know me?
Mm-hmm.
You know my lady?
Yeah.
Because you're looking at us with all that fucking familiarity.
Yeah, that was great, though.
That was bars,
That's a
nigga.
great bar.
Familiarity.
That was a great bar.
Yeah, Sweetness whole ass, man.
I think it's definitely the LVP is Sweetness.
Uh-huh.
Loki got his bitch knocked. Like right next door. Like right
Yes,
next
sir.
door.
Right.
Yeah.
Sweetness.
Yeah.
You
got his bitch knocked by a nigga with no money,
no
Straight out
bread.
of prison.
nappy head,
No nappy head.
no shine, no
shine,
floss,
No swag.
No,
no
nothing.
swag.
And still knocked your broad and then shook her loose.
In a
Knocked your
poop butt
bitch.
house.
Dipped off on
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
She dipped off on you.
She headed
Right.
back to Dakota.
Man.
So like, come on.
I got a another one more LVP nominee.
Yeah. Let Jake Shuttlesworth knock his bitch.
That's funny,
that's-
nigga. That's hilarious. What's the nigga's name?
Gave him freebies. Like think about it. Think about that. The hoe went off the clock to
Yes.
to
After
romance
she said-
with Jake.
After she said she wasn't gonna give him
After
no
she
free
said
box.
she wasn't gonna give him
Right.
no went off
Yes,
the
he
clock.
did.
You slick?
You
Yes, he
you
did.
think you're really slick.
I guess he was in the end,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, he's
Let me just go on bust quick,
he's the
make her feel
LVP.
The
bad.
nigga that the LVP was the nigga that Lala was smashing.
Leonard.
Leonard
Yeah.
hoe ass.
Yeah.
Leonard's hoe ass, man.
Mhm.
Look at Leonard.
Yeah, because really when it was all said and done, he wasn't even the agent that and he didn't have no hands. He got
Yeah.
chopped in the throat and he was dismantled.
Here's what Leonard got chopped in the throat and punched in the nose
Broke his shit off.
and had to
right.
show up to the press conference
Busted.
with the bandage
On his nose.
on his nose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Yeah. So
Super
one
buster.
of them to Sweetness.
yeah.
I
I mean, I think
Sweetness at least had heart to be, hey my nigga, what the fuck you looking at?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, he had heart. Nigga walked up on him.
He
Said,
did.
hey, homie, you heard the lady? Nigga said, blah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
blah.
That's it.
And then got,
It was
got
over
punched out.
quick.
But I think even for Leonard's character,
Uh-huh.
like there's going to be another recruit. He works for the agent. Right? That's what he does.
Yeah.
Right? So he came in, he got his hooks into Lala early.
Yeah.
Right? So he'll get his face cleaned up and he'll go to,
Mhm.
whoever next year's, top recruit is and
Yeah.
do the same thing. So
He's gonna be Sip.
he's gonna keep winning. You know what I mean?
Remember
Like,
Sip because Big Time Willie had Sip in the car.
yeah.
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 Yeah. So
Everybody
Sip
else
the
is
next
still
nigga.
winning. The only one that's without is my man Sweetness is without his bottom bitch.
Yeah. So he's
That's it.
super.
He's
He's
the
super
L.
ill value. He's not valuable at all.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
Dakota told us I'm his bottom bitch.
I'm leaving him.
Like,
I'm his
boom.
biggest moneymaker. Not no more, nigga.
he's the L. Okay.
Yeah.
Last little like what if what kind of career does Jesus Shuttlesworth have
What, in the NBA?
in the NBA? College and NBA.
Jesus is
if you could
literally-
look into a crystal ball, do we think he's one of the all-time greats?
Jesus, I honestly think Jesus Shuttlesworth is going to have a Ray Allen career.
Mm-hmm.
Because Ray Allen, I felt like it was Ray Allen playing Jesus Shuttlesworth. I felt like it was the same guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like his game was nice.
Mhm.
He'll get into the league and ball out. But for example, do you think that the first 7 years of Ray Allen's career is as good as his second 7? How many? I mean, he didn't do 14. So
He played for a while.
Oh no, he did do. He did
He
do.
did
I'm
14,
sorry,
yeah.
he did. Yeah,
Yeah.
but like he got to the point where he was just a spot up shooter.
Yeah.
He was a guy
Right.
that you
Just going around and
gets the
shoot.
ball. He was a shooter. Like,
I
he
mean,
wasn't-
once he kind of lost his athleticism,
Right.
like after he leaves Boston, I think Boston is the last time you still see a great player.
in him.
I just think he was the odd man out politically. Right? Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce were these big personalities,
Mhm.
and I think they bullied Ray to a certain extent.
Mm.
That's why I think he was very happy to leave them to go down to Miami.
Right.
Go to
You
the
know what I mean?
ops.
Because they was not bros.
Right.
They was not bros. And he's
Dang.
like, and I'm Ray Allen, right?
Right.
Um,
I'm Jesus Shuttlesworth.
I'm Jesus
nigga.
Shuttlesworth.
Oh, what y'all talking about?
Was they the big 3 or the big 4?
They end up being the big focus. Rondo,
Rondo.
right?
Rondo was so nice. They made he. Hey, I'm his big 4.
A nice guy that can't shoot.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what I think. I think that Jesus definitely gets drafted, definitely goes to the pros.
Mm-hmm.
But at no point in time do I feel like Jesus Shuttlesworth loves the game of basketball. Like, I don't think he loves
It's
the
a means
game.
of getting his sister out the hood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I don't think he loves the game. You never hear him
He
talk
didn't-
about.
I don't think he loved the life.
Yeah. None
he
of
didn't
that.
love
He
the.
didn't seem impressed by
he-
nothing really.
yeah,
He's just like,
yeah.
oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Like he this is a very important point. Like, no point in time during the whole movie do you hear Jesus Shuttlesworth express his love for the game.
Facts.
I wish they would just leave me alone to play ball. All I want to do is play ball. All I want to do is be in the gym.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it never really says that, right?
Right.
So I think that, like, the popularity, I don't think he has a long career.
Yeah.
Right?
I get it.
Like, I don't even think he's very competitive, really. Right? Like, I think, like, he goes to the league. He is what he is. He has his kind of career. But, like, would not be surprised if he, like, retired early.
Retire
So
early.
you think he'll go to the league and be like a bust? All that hype.
I don't think
down?
he'll be a bust.
No, he's nice.
I don't think it'll be. But I'll tell you. I'll tell you
nice-
this much.
Compare him to a nice person in the league. If he wasn't Ray Allen, what would you think he'll be?
I think that like Jesus Shuttlesworth doesn't live up to the hype.
Right.
That's that.
But is that a bust though?
Not a bust. He's not a bust. Like, if we think about like some guys, like think about like some number one picks, right? That
Is he
we
Grant
thought
Hill?
were going to, maybe he's Grant Hill.
But Grant Hill
wasn't a
But Grant-
bust.
Grant Hill wasn't a bust. No, I don't
Until
think
he got hurt.
I don't think
He
there's
got
any
hurt.
way that Jesus Shuttlesworth is a bust. Right?
No,
I don't think so.
No. He's too nice.
Yeah, like I don't want to like get into my b-ball crates, but like a Kerry Kittles, right?
Ah,
like
Kerry Kittles, you think he'd be
Kerry
like that,
Kittles,
okay.
But he didn't. Damn, Kerry
Kittles
I like
from the
Kerry.
Nets.
yeah, he was like
Villanova,
he was like
yeah.
an all-world, you know what I mean, like kind of thing. Maybe he has like a Starberry like career,
I was about to say, I was gonna say Tayshaun Prince.
like a
Tayshaun
Tayshaun
Prince.
Prince.
He'll be a part of a team, a great team that wins a championship.
Yeah,
But he's not the number one guy on that squad.
right.
He's not Chauncey. He's not Rip. You know what I'm saying?
He's not like what's the kid from the Nets?
He's a Trevor Ariza.
Oh,
Trevor Ariza?
But even then, Jesus had more hype coming out of high school than Trevor Ariza.
Oh, are we talking about we talking about real life?
Like I'm trying to talk about
like what would he be if he wasn't Ray Allen and it was Jesus Shuttlesworth? What would-
Right.
Lonzo
comparing
Ball.
him to. So you saying he'd be like Lonzo?
maybe like Alonzo Ball.
Lonzo's not a bust.
Nah,
Yeah.
He's not living up to the hype though.
Maybe yeah.
He's supposed to be what Melo is.
Yeah.
But he's
I
not a
thi-
bust though.
Yeah.
He's not a bust. He's supposed to be where Melo
I think
is.
that's a great example. Okay, let's get into some fists. All right.
Before we do that, we got to give the overacting award.
Oh,
The overacting?
Yeah.
who was over?
But who overacted in that
And,
movie?
all right, for the sake of
Underacting?
for the sake of this film, Ray Allen gets the underacting,
He gets the underacting
Right.
award for sure.
For sure.
And I loved him. Ray Allen, you killed that shit.
Yeah,
With your non-acting ass.
yeah.
You killed that shit, bro.
Did the best that he could.
He did. And I wasn't mad at it. I watched it again
It
recently.
didn't make the movie suck.
It didn't make the movie bad at all.
Big Time always overacts a little bit.
He does. Because he's theater. He's
Right.
theater.
Yeah, exactly.
All the classically trained guys have the tendency sometimes
Yeah.
to overact. So yes,
Yeah.
he Big Time Willie.
yeah,
gets
Big
the
Time
overacting.
really. And, it was my coffee.
You know what
You know
I'm
what I
saying?
mean?
Motherfucker.
think
Yeah,
these
yeah.
niggas around here love you. You know what I mean? Pick me, niggas. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
always a bit much.
Mhm.
So he gets it. Okay. All right. So this is interesting. He got game. 5 stars. Five fists. How many fists? Is it 5 fists for a classic? 4, 3, 2, all the way down to 1.
Dang.
How do you rank?
I'm gonna
He got game?
brother Wayne go first.
You want me to go first? I
Yes.
definitely don't give it a 5 for sure.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna give it either a 3 or a 4. It's like a 3.5 in
Yeah.
between.
3.5.
It's a strong 3. A sturdy 3. I say that because the performances make it it's a Spike Lee joint. So it's definitely a 3. It's a strong 3. A
Mhm.
sturdy 3. Not his best work,
Yeah.
but it's good work though.
Yeah.
I think he took a chance on Ray Allen as an actor, and that's why it's a 3
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
point. It's a strong 3 because of Ray. Now, had he had this, if it was Dwayne Martin,
Mm-hmm.
like for example, it was a good movie, just like Above the Rim. I forgot what I gave Above the Rim, but I want to say I gave Above the Rim a 5.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it was Tupac, it was Dwayne Martin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Leon.
Yeah.
If this was if Ray Allen, which I loved in the film, was a better actor,
Mm-hmm.
then it would be probably a strong 4, if not a 5.
All right, let me tell you how I got to mine.
What's happening?
Whenever we do Malcolm X, Spike Lee joint, it's going to be 5 Black Fists.
Of course.
Right? He Got Game is not as good as Malcolm X.
Right.
Right? So that already knocks it down to the 4 status. It's hard to stay at the 4 status when your lead character is such a poor actor.
Yeah.
Right? So that drags it down to like 3 Black Fists. But I do think Denzel kind of brings it back up.
He did such a stellar performance.
So I said 3.5.
It's a 33.
I'm giving He Got Game 4.
Okay.
4?
For Denzel.
Yeah.
Denzel keeps it from being a 3. I give He Got Game 4 Black Fist.
That's fair.
I enjoyed watching it. I enjoyed watching it.
And there's so many scenes with Denzel.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it's they're both the main character is him, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
It looks good.
I might do that too.
Yeah.
I said a 33 for me is a 3.8.
Yeah.
4 is not too far behind.
Okay.
I like it. I love the film. I'll continue to always watch it. Rosario Dawson, I had a real big thing for her back in the day.
Mhm.
Man.
She murdered that.
Yes, she did.
And she acts. I feel like she was the chick from Around the Way.
Right.
Yep.
She was beautiful, had some grit to her. I didn't really care for Brother Leonard.
Yeah.
You know what
I
I'm
never
saying?
cared for Brother Leonard.
Yeah, bless his heart.
She want to be gangsta ass. You know what I'm saying? That's his drum line.
Yes. Yeah. Bless his heart. But
Mila was a great hoe.
yeah, she was.
She was.
And they got Resident Evil.
She wore
Yeah.
that wig good.
Mila Jovovich.
Yeah.
Jovovich.
Yeah.
And she did her thing. She's in this movie as a whore.
She was a great hoe.
And she was great.
And Rick Fox was great.
Rick Fox was dope.
Rick Fox was great.
Dope, bro.
Rick Fox be getting his acting on.
He be
low
getting
key.
it in, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was great.
Nah.
It's interesting. Like, maybe he was too old, but like if Spike had cast Rick Fox as Jesus Shuttlesworth,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a different movie because I do think that Rick might have been able to pull off
And
the emotion.
it makes more sense for him. Like
Yeah.
this complexion wise, mom's a super high yellow.
Mhm.
Denzel, they make it Rick Fox. It
Yeah.
makes sense. But they would have to cut all his facial. And he also was too. He came by high school.
Too big,
Yeah,
bro.
too
Yeah.
big.
Too
He
big,
was
too
big,
too structured,
buff,
too
strong.
yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But nah, he did his thing though.
He Got
Dope ass
Game was a great
film, bro.
movie.
Yep, He Got Games, dope ass film. Yeah, I loved it. Brother Wayne, man, thank you for pulling up again. Well, thank you for staying.
Hey, man, you know.
And doing the second film with us, bro. We had a ball. We had to do it, man. I said we did White Man Can't Jump. I said, man, we're gonna do He Got Game, bro, right now.
Yep.
And thank you for tapping in with us and staying with us,
Man,
bro.
no problem. Anytime, man. I had a good time here.
Hell yeah.
Made me think about some stuff that I ain't even thought about.
Man, yeah, we had to bust down the films.
Like,
Yeah.
like, why did he?
Yeah.
The buzz down, the breakdown.
Yes,
That's the
indeed.
show.
Yes, indeed. That's what we do here, man.
Mm-hmm.
Catch us next time in on BlackBusters. I'm your host, Big Ja, along with my co-host,
Tony Island.
Tony Island. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
That's a great name.
Yeah, that's a very good name, bro.
Tony Island, not
Hell
Coney, but Tony.
With our special guest, G. Wayne, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Appreciate you,
y'all
man.
for tapping
Thank
in.
you,
Catch us next time on BlackBusters, man. Love yourself. Be good or be good at it. We out the gates. Pew to the max.
BlackBusters.